So we'll see the next concept, compound ratio. So this question is frequently asked in the exam. So many think that compound ratio is such a difficult one and they don't attend at all. The compound ratio is nothing but product of a set of given ratios. So product of simple ratios is compound ratio. Say for example, so you have the ratio 2:3 and another ratio as 5:6. So they'll ask they'll give 3 or 4 ratios and you'll be asked to find compound ratio. Say for example, if 2 ratios are there, so we have 2 simple ratios and you are asked to find compound ratio. Just product of these 2 simple ratios will give you the compound ratio. So we can write this in quotient form also. So 2:3 is written as 2/3 and 5:6 as 5/6. So just by multiplying these 2 simple ratios you get a compound ratio. So if you have any common factors, you simplify. So here 2 is a common factor. So after simplifying, we get 5/9. So compound ratio of this 2 is 5/9. So compound ratio is nothing but product of given simple ratios. So we'll see one example. So the question is, what is the compound ratio of the following 4 ratios? So here they have given 4 ratios and you are asked to find compound ratio. So just mere by multiplying all these ratios, you get the compound ratio. So the ratios are 2:5, 8:7, 14:15 and 3:4. So multiply all these ratios and we get the compound ratio, and we'll see the working now. So the ratios given are 2:5. So we can write in quotient form 2/5 and then 8:7 as 8/7. The other one, the 14:15 as 14/15 and 3/4. So we are asked to find compound ratio for this. So just by multiplying this, we get the compound ratio. So check if you have any common factors. So after simplifying, we will get the answer. So multiplying all the antecedents of the ratios and all the consequence of the ratios. So we have left out with 2 into 2 into 2. So product of 3 2's, which is 8. And in the denominator 5 into 5, 25. So compound ratio for this given simple ratios, so just multiply, you get the answer. So it's not a tedious one, so it's a simple one. So multiply all, after simplifying you get the compound ratio. So we'll see one more example for this, a practical application of this. So we have another practical application of this compound ratio concept. The question is, in a factory, the owner reduced the number of workers in the ratio of 5:4 and increased their wages in the ratio 7:8. So if the owner benefited by rupees 12,000 by doing as above, what was the wages paid by him earlier? The question given here is, the owner reduces the workers in the ratio 5:4. Suppose he was having 25 workers working, he reduces them to 20. So the ratio is from 5, it has reduced to 4. And he is increasing their wages in the ratio 7:8. Suppose he was paying each 700, now he has increased 100, so it is 800. So he is increasing the wages in the ratio 7:8. So by doing so, he is benefiting by 12,000. So you are asked to find what was the wages paid by him earlier. So we'll see the working. So the manpower he has reduced from 5 parts to 4 parts. And he has increased the wages from 7 parts to 8 parts. So that is 7:8. So whenever the second part is less, it means that it has been decreased. So when the second part is more, it means that it has been increased. So they have already mentioned it. And now to find the earlier bill and the present bill, So multiplying the first two parts. So 5 into 7. So earlier bill was 5 into 7, 35 parts, and the present bill, so 4 into 8, 32 parts. So the ratio of bills paid, so 35 is to 32. So from 35 parts it has been reduced to 32. So how many parts it has decreased? 3 parts. So the difference, so between the parts is 3. So they have given the owner has benefited by rupees 12,000. It means difference in the bill which he was doing earlier and now which he is doing is 12,000, and difference in ratio is 3 parts. So just by equating the difference in these parts you can get the earlier bill or the present bill. So by subtracting the parts, we have got difference in ratio of parts is 3 parts. So he is benefited by 12,000, means difference in the amount spent is 12,000. So what is value of one part? So 3 parts 12,000. So dividing by 3, you get value of one part. So 4,000 rupees is value of one part. So you are asked to find the amount spent by him earlier. So that's the earlier bill. How many parts is earlier? 35 parts. So we need 35 parts. Will give you the bill spent earlier. So one part is 4,000. So earlier bill is 35 parts. So 35 into 4,000. So multiplying this, you get the value which he spent earlier. So rupees, it is after multiplying 1,40,000. So using the concept of compound ratio, we have found this. So compound ratio is nothing but multiplying the simple ratio. Here, the manpower was in the ratio 5:4 and wages 7:8. So just by multiplying, we have got the ratio. Here the concept is 35 parts he spent earlier, 32 parts he is spending now. So difference is 3 parts. So that was given and we needed 35 parts. So by finding value of one part, the earlier bill, that is 1,40,000 is got. So we will see the next concept.